She don't care what you think. Granniopteryx, granniopteryx. She knows the truth, she's linking every link.
Hello, I suppose some of you of my generation and perhaps the next generation down will be aware of that old joke, which is now out of fashion and is still funny, as a definition of mixed feelings. Mixed feelings are when you see your mother-in-law driving over a cliff in your new car. Well, it's a bit that way with my feelings about this. Lefty MP calls for flags to be removed as they threaten the breakdown of society. I thought I'd look at the breakdown of society as regards this lefty MP's patch, which is in Yorkshire, and a place like Cirencester, which is not lefty. I'm going to get rid of that. Which is not lefty and which puts flags up all the time. But before I get onto that, I do have to point out that sometimes flags can be dangerous. In this case, I'm on the flag waving side, don't get me wrong. But you have to understand that on some occasions, for instance, if a flag isn't properly secured and it's on a pole in a city centre, it could fly off and fly into somebody's windscreen, cause a crash, that sort of thing. So you have to be careful when you put flags up. That's all I'm saying. And you have to make sure that they are properly secured. Right, well, I'm going to be talking about Yorkshire and the breakdown of society as defined by lefty MPs. All right, I'm Granniopteryx. Please like this video. You know you've got a feast in store for you here. Like the video, share it if you're so inclined, subscribe to my channel, and if you want to contribute financially, remember all the links to contributions are in the description. And as I often tell people, I spend it all on looking after my horses. So, well, almost all, as I say. I sometimes have to buy equipment to make these videos as well. Okay, let's get on with it, should we? Let's start with Rachel Maskell. Now, it's sort of interesting because when I saw a picture of Rachel Maskell, this one isn't incredibly flattering, but this one is. Here, I'll show it to you. I looked at that face and I thought, that looks to me like a sensible woman. And I do like, you must know, my long-time subscribers must know, I appreciate good dress sense. And here she's wearing a green jacket and she's wearing some sort of a t-shirt or blouse or whatever, and it's got a little bit of the green, echoing the green in her jacket, and it looks very nice. And she's not wearing makeup and she's got her hair just tied back, and she doesn't look to me like a trendy lefty. She looks like a sensible person, and she looks like the sort of person I could talk to. That's just my first impression of her. And then I discovered that she is actually an independent MP. So when the Express called her a lefty MP, I was a little less than impressed with their headline. Now, I think she's wrong, but it seems to me she's not wrong in the same way, in many ways, that a lefty MP is wrong. In fact, the head of the council is also, there's something a bit hopeful about those guys. I'll get to that in a couple of minutes. Anyway, it says here, a left-wing MP for York has demanded that the local Labour council U-turn and begin taking down flags from lampposts. And that's because the council are not taking the flags down. Here we are. I was looking for this. This is the council leader of York, Claire Douglas. And she, again, somehow a nice face. The left wokery doesn't seem to have left its mark on her face. She just looks like a sort of down-to-earth Yorkshire woman. I don't know what her politics are. They might be completely mad. But at this point, she says, for many people in this country, the flags are a symbol of patriotism. It's right to have a deep pride in our home, city and country. It's important that alongside this deep felt patriotism, we should also be aware that flying the flag unfortunately stirs memories for some members of our communities of their experience of racism and persecution. But she is not taking the flags down. That is, she appears to be seeing both sides of the issue. And if that's the impression I've got, if I'm right, then well done, Claire Douglas. So we're back to now Rachel Maskell. She said York Council should act to remove the flags despite local authority being one of the few Labour councils promising not to take down the vast bulk. And again, I go back to my issue of safety. There may be some situations where it really isn't appropriate to have a flag flying. It might be obscuring a sign or put up in a dangerous way that would make it, I mean, it's quite windy in Yorkshire, you know, make it subject to, being torn off its moorings or whatever. Miss Maskell said, over recent days I've been inundated with messages from residents concerning the placement of flags and painting of the highways by members of the public. Do you notice her phraseology? I've been inundated with messages. That doesn't say they object. They could just as easily have been writing to her to say they want these things to stay, couldn't they? Maybe she's being a little disingenuous there. While I believe members of all sections of the community must be heard, it must be within the confines of the law. And it is against the law to put up stuff on public posts. And this is what's interesting. It is against the law. And yet the council are not irritating people by taking down the ones that they consider are safe. And this is an example of how the law is being broken. When people see that their country is being ruled by people who are actively working against them, then it's their duty to break the law, never mind a bit of mischief. Let's go into this flag business here in Yorkshire. The council leader said she wants to talk to the organisers about the flags. This is how real politics is done. Claire Douglas isn't taking the flags down, but she wants dialogue with the people who are doing it. And this is the man responsible. Meet the man behind York's flags. And then they took this quote. What it shows is that people are unhappy. Maybe some of our Westminster politicians might pay attention to this. It says Joseph Moulton is the man who's inspired the sudden mass flagging of York, with Union and St George's flags now flying from lampposts in New Erzik, Heslington and all points in between. And he's put up hundreds himself. Judging by the response on social media, including on his own York Flaggers and Litter Pickers Facebook page, the flags in York have got the city talking. Many say the sight of them has inspired a sense of civic pride. This guy, Joseph Moulton, is 22, and it seems like the hope for this country is in people like Joseph Moulton, the 22-year-olds who want to be proud to be British and have been told their whole school lives that they shouldn't be. And I'm filled with pride that people like Joseph Moulton have resisted this constant drip of propaganda. But I think one of the reasons, it says here, Joseph said he grew up with stories from his nan, his grandmother, and extended family about their lives in the mining communities of South Yorkshire. He loved the sense of community built around these industries. So let's talk about crime in North Yorkshire. Oh, stop it. This is Wakefield. It's a very old town. The word wake comes from Old English, and it's the same word as the word wake when you talk about having a wake after somebody's died. It means you're staying up late and keeping a vigil. You're watching. And Wakefield means this was an area where people had celebrations, communal celebrations, fairs and processions and that sort of thing. And this is, I don't know how old Wakefield is, but if the name is Old English, it means, at least the 7th century. Wakefield, a picturesque cathedral city in West Yorkshire, has reportedly descended into a state of lawlessness, with locals feeling increasingly threatened by drug use, aggressive begging and anti-social behaviour. Once celebrated for its rich cultural heritage and stunning architecture, the city centre is now allegedly a no-go zone for residents, according to The Sun. And then we have this. Oh, stop that. Our beautiful Yorkshire city is now the lawless Wild West with no sheriff, was one of the comments. And here's the cathedral. Just look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, that's just gorgeous. And they've done it blue, so it looks like the sky. But there's a bit of a problem in Wakefield. And so we've got this here. Beautiful Yorkshire city, now lawless as drug addicts leave locals scared. And here are some comments. Have to agree with you 100%. I used to love shopping in Wakefield and worked there too for a few years. I couldn't tell you the last time I went. Nowadays, I felt very nervous and uncomfortable with the amount of male foreigners and drug addicts the last time I visited. Such a shame, as it was always vibrant and full of shoppers. And that's slightly echoed by this fellow here who said he went into the centre on Friday night and didn't see any trouble. But I remember the city centre used to be jam-packed in the 60s, 70s, 80s and into the 90s. What happened? It was deserted. And it was probably deserted because people like this poster here don't dare go in there anymore. So what's happened to Wakefield? Well, I thought this poster talked about male foreigners and drug addicts, so I thought let's look at the ethnic mix. And it says here that Wakefield's ethnic mix has become more diverse in the past decade, with a notable increase in ethnic minority populations from 7.2% in the, let's open this up a bit, in the 2011 census to 11.8% in the 2021 census. And that's only 2021. We're 4 years on from that now. The most common ethnicity remains white, British, English, Welsh, Scottish and Northern Irish, but its proportion has decreased, while populations identifying with Asian, black, mixed and other ethnic groups have increased. And what about the foreigners that she was talking about? Migrant accommodation in Wakefield primarily consists of hotel-based accommodation which is used by the Home Office to house asylum seekers as initial accommodation while their claims are processed. Wakefield's local council has raised concerns and is engaging with the Home Office. Raising concerns and engaging with the Home Office doesn't seem to have got them very far, because As of late June 2025, a significant number of asylum seekers were housed in hotels in the Wakefield district, with the Cedar Court Hotel being a specific example mentioned in local reporting. And what about the Cedar Court Hotel? Well, here we have the web page for Cedar Court Hotels. Cedar Court Hotel is a premium destination for relaxation and fitness. While our hotel is currently closed, we're excited to let you know that our leisure club remains open. So, there's a leisure club there which has public access. It's the local swimming pool, in fact, by the looks of things, and the hotel, and it must be quite a nice place judging by its leisure centre, that's closed. And that's closed because it's full of migrants. Let's go back to Rachel Maskell. She says you have to take the flags down because they threaten the breakdown of society. Well, I would suggest that what's happened to Wakefield is threatening the breakdown of society. Meanwhile, let's have a look at Cirencester. As I keep talking about Cirencester, it doesn't look like Cirencester has a problem with British flags at all, anywhere. And the Cirencester crime statistics are significantly better than the ones in York. So it looks to me as if flying flags does the precise opposite of breaking down society, doesn't it? Right, well, that's it. My study of flags comparing Cirencester with York, and all props to Joseph Moulton. I'll raise a glass with him if the opportunity ever arises. Society breaks down when people are not proud of their culture, not when they are proud. OK, till next time. You can help my channel by subscribing and clicking the notification bell. That's quite important. And by sharing if you're so inclined. Links to my other channels and to donation methods are in the description. But the best way you can help is simply by clicking like and notify. Thank you.